The court, having found that the decolonization of Mauritius was not conducted in a manner consistent with the right of peoples to self-determination, it follows that the United Kingdom's continued administration of the Chagos Archipelago constitutes a wrongful act. Accordingly, the United Kingdom is under an obligation to bring an end to its administration of the Chagos Archipelago as rapidly as possible.
It's only a recommendation, but it packs a diplomatic punch. The International Court of Justice, or ICJ at The Hague, has taken Britain to task for what it calls its continued illegal occupation of the Chagos Islands. The court ruled they should be handed over to Mauritius.
There was no ambiguity. There is no wiggle room. They basically said the law has been broken, self-determination has not been respected, human rights have been violated. Mauritius is entitled to exercise control, sovereignty, if you like, over these islands as rapidly as possible.
Mauritius has maintained that it was forced to give up the islands in 1965 in exchange for independence, which it gained 3 years later. The British government at the time evicted the entire population. It then invited the US to build a military base on the largest of the Chagos atolls, Diego Garcia. Some of the displaced settled in Mauritius, more than 2,000 kilometers away.
Our life in Mauritius was very, very difficult. Huge poverty, facing with many problems like drugs, alcohol, jobless, prostitution, bad education. We have known the worst life.
The court's decision against the UK follows decades of legal challenges by Chagos Islanders. The UK has accepted responsibility for wrongdoing, but hasn't said whether it will relinquish control of the islands. Instead, it's called attention to the island's role in the defense of the US and UK.
It fully accepts the manner in which the Chagosians were removed from the Chagos archipelago and the way they were treated thereafter was shameful and wrong. And it deeply regrets that fact.
As part of the advisory opinion, the judges said all UN member states are obliged to cooperate to complete the decolonization of Mauritius. That includes the US, which continues to operate its military base on Diego Garcia. What happens next rests with the UK government, which is currently wrestling with its own internal issues of self-determination. And while the ruling has breathed new life into Chagos Islanders' hopes to return home, it's unclear whether it will be enough to force the UK to close this chapter of its colonial history. Randolph Nogel, The Newsmakers.